Muy buenas tardes con todos. Es un gusto saludarles para la Escuela Politécnica del Litoral y la Universidad de las Américas, conjuntamente con el Milo Space Science Institute de la Universidad Estatal de Arizona. Nos complace darles la bienvenida a este webinar informativo sobre el desafío eh, que estamos trabajando en conjunto, tres universidades, con el apoyo del Departamento de Estado de los Estados Unidos a través de la Embajada y el Consulado de los Estados Unidos en Guayaquil. Hoy nos acompaña el doctor David Thomas, que es el director ejecutivo del Milo Space Science Institute de Arizona State University, quien va a ser nuestro orador de este webinar informativo. Quisiera darles ahora la palabra al doctor Carlos González, vicerrector de Investigación, Desarrollo e Innovación de la Escuela Politécnica del Litoral, para que nos dé nuestras palabras de bienvenida. Doctor, bienvenido, gracias por acompañarnos. Le cedo la palabra.
Muy buenas tardes, muchas gracias. Como bien se ha mencionado, estamos muy contentos de poder tener este webinar que da un inicio ya activo a un trabajo que se ha venido desarrollando por algún tiempo para llegar a tener un programa de capacitación dirigido a nuestros jóvenes estudiantes que quieran desarrollar capacidades y habilidades que son altamente deseadas a nivel mundial y en particular en la carrera aeroespacial, ¿no? Y que así no se dediquen a la carrera aeroespacial, con toda seguridad esas habilidades y capacidades les serán útiles para cualquier otro camino profesional en las áreas STEM, cualquiera que ésta sea. Quiero agradecer desde el Espol también a la Embajada de Norteamérica y en particular al Consulado de Guayaquil de los Estados Unidos de Norteamérica, porque gracias a ellos estas actividades serán totalmente financiadas, de tal manera que a nuestros estudiantes que se registren para este programa de capacitación no tengan que pagar absolutamente nada y sea totalmente gratuito, ¿no? Ya con la UDLA nos hemos puesto de acuerdo en el calendario de actividades, también en cómo manejar el tema, así que muy pronto habrán noticias para abrir los registros y lograr la admisión en este programa. Esperamos que muchísimos estudiantes puedan registrarse y aprovecharlo, porque realmente es una oportunidad única. Me cambio ligeramente al inglés, because I want to thank also to David Thomas from ASU, from Milo. We have been working together almost for 1 year for making this a reality and to bring you this program that will enhance your capacities and skills as a professional. So, gracias a todos y espero que puedan aprovechar este webinar y que luego se animen a participar en el programa.
Muchísimas gracias, doctor Monsalve, por sus palabras de bienvenida, y desde la Universidad de las Américas extendemos un cordial saludo a todos los colegas y estudiantes de la Escuela Politécnica del Litoral en Guayaquil. Ahora quiero darle la palabra a nuestro decano de la Facultad de Ingeniería y Ciencias Aplicadas, el doctor Ángel Jaramillo, quien va a ser la presentación del orador del día de hoy, el doctor David Thomas. Adelante, Ángel, bienvenido.
Muchas gracias, Alexander. Muy buenas noches con todos. Hi, David. Nice to see you again. Estimado doctor Monsalve, también muy buenas noches. Gracias por acompañarnos en esta reunión. Y sean todos bienvenidos a este webinar relacionado con el Planetary Innovation Challenge, un desafío pues organizado por la Universidad Estatal de Arizona en conjunto con UDLA, Espol, y con el aval, pues, muy agradecidos con la Embajada Americana y el Consulado de la ciudad de Guayaquil. Este reto está diseñado para inspirar a los estudiantes en diversas disciplinas a idear de alguna manera soluciones innovadoras que promuevan la habitabilidad en la Luna, Marte, y al mismo tiempo, pues, que estas soluciones contribuyan a la sostenibilidad en en la Tierra, ¿no? Entonces va a ser un taller de 8 semanas, donde los participantes van a trabajar en áreas críticas como el abastecimiento de agua, alimentos, energía, y con el apoyo de mentores especializados. Entonces, el día de hoy le doy la más cordial bienvenida a David Thomas. David es el director ejecutivo del Milo Space Science Institute, donde lidera iniciativas para democratizar el acceso a la ciencia y exploración espacial, con una amplia trayectoria en diplomacia espacial, colaboración internacional y crecimiento estratégico. El trabajo de David se enfoca en crear alianzas globales para fomentar una economía espacial sólida e inclusiva. Su liderazgo ha impulsado misiones espaciales importantes como Apophis Pathfinder, un vuelo preliminar hacia el asteroide potencialmente peligroso Apophis, y Lunar Ride, que permite la investigación científica en la superficie lunar. Además, fundó la Milo Mission Academy, que ofrece programas de desarrollo laboral en exploración lunar y acción climática. Las iniciativas de David buscan reducir las brechas de acceso y fomentar la innovación en el sector espacial, creando oportunidades para agencias espaciales nuevas y emergentes en todo el mundo. We are very happy to be here with you, David. Thank you so much for your time. And we are going to take all the moment in order to present all the information about this challenge. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. I just want to say thank you very much first to the officers of the universities. I'm very grateful for your warm welcome. Thank you to the faculty who have joined. And I especially want to thank the students. And you will hear us say to you, the students, several times this evening, you belong here. This is our commitment to you, is to make space accessible, to create a pathway whereby you can participate and you can bring your talent, your education, your skill to the space ecosystem. That is our goal in this program. So I'm very excited to share a few details about the program. And first, I'm David Thomas. I'm Executive Director of the Milo Space Science Institute, as you've heard. And again, just I'm extraordinarily grateful for this opportunity. So I'm going to go through an introduction of the program. I'm going to describe the goals of the program. I will give you some details on the program description. And then you have already heard this statement. You will hear it again. You belong here. This is the place where you can learn how to engage in the space ecosystem and pursue careers that will be very exciting. I first must talk a little bit about our organization, our institution, Arizona State University. It's a very special place. But the reason that it's so special to me is because of our charter. And our charter says that we take fundamental responsibility for the socioeconomic well-being of the communities that we serve. So we, as now having a strong relationship with your institutions, we are compelled to bring these resources to Ecuador. We are compelled to take responsibility for the communities within Ecuador. And so it's with great pleasure that I'm able to be that person who can describe the resources that we have, but these resources are really now accessible to you, the students, the faculty, the officials of the institutions. The Milo Space Science Institute is a very special place as well. I'm not going to go into too much detail. You heard a little bit of a description, just to reinforce the fact that we were created in essence to be like a university-led space agency. Our mission is to provide access to space for as many people as possible, for as many universities, for as many countries as possible. We have an ambassador corps, and I have to thank my good friend, Robert Ayon, for his incredible work. He is a tireless ambassador. He is a champion for Ecuador, and he's done amazing things. And so I want to give him a special note of thanks and gratitude. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what we intend to do with this program. You, the students who want to participate, what you can expect if you choose to go through the program is an understanding of the challenges that are faced by NASA and the companies that support NASA, the partner countries. These are the challenges that the world is facing when we say, hey, we're going to send people to the moon. This is not easy. Space is very hard. There are many challenges that we face. You will learn also how to participate in a team and to think about how to bring your collective skills together to create a solution for these challenges. You're going to experience an innovation process. And this is actually really important because what you will find is that this experience you will take with you, not just into your academic studies, but into your jobs, into your careers. And the innovation process that you're going to learn is one that I've experienced many times in my career. And it's amazing how it works and how you can converge to a solution by following this process. This is a powerful tool that will make you important to your employers. It will make you hireable. It will make you desirable in the workforce. We will teach you the way to think about space exploration. And really in particular, we're going to teach about how we can think in terms of creating innovation for the moon, but also think about how that innovation can help our communities. Sometimes we call this dual use. It's innovation for space exploration, for the moon, for Mars, but it's also innovation for Ecuador, for the people around you. And the people around you need your innovation. There are many challenges on Earth, and we're going to learn how we can apply our innovative process to solve the challenges that our communities are facing. And in essence, we're going to learn how to come together. There are many challenges that we face in life, and what we're teaching are the basic transferable skills that are going to help you come together with others, with your peers, with your faculty, and solve these challenges. Along the way, this is very exciting, you're going to learn professional skills, and you're going to hear us say this over and over again. These skills are what will make you different in the workforce. They will set you apart. They will make you valuable as you are entering the workforce. Companies that are looking for their employees are going to look for students who have on their resume, you've received a certificate from the Milo Space Science Institute that tells us that you understand how to work in a team. It tells us that you know how to respect your colleagues. You've thought about dual use applications and you know how to innovate. These are incredible skills. I trust that you'll get to hear from my good friend, Dr. Sian Proctor, who you see here was one of the SpaceX astronauts who piloted one of the spacecraft, and she's just an amazing inspiration. In this program, you're going to hear from experts whose lives every day are spent working on systems that are on Mars or orbiting the moon. Their lives are every day, they're living on these planetary bodies in the form of the robots that they operate. Professor Jim Bell, who you see here, runs the vision system for Mars rover Perseverance. And you're going to hear from Jim, and he's going to describe what it's like to operate a rover on Mars, what it's like to receive the images from Mars and to understand what they mean, what the features are. We're going to bring you experts, not just from the US, but international as well. You're going to have groups of people you can interact with there in Ecuador. And this is going to be an amazing group of experts that you'll have access to. I want to recognize our team. We have an extraordinary team with a lot of years of experience, and they're bringing all of this experience to you so that you can benefit from this program in the maximum way possible. Professor Russell Boyce has spent many years at the university. He's responsible for about a quarter of all of Australia's space assets. He is a leader in the AIAA, the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics. Ravimbo Samanga is an expert in law and policy. She just received recently a Space Law Young Achiever Award. She's been awarded by the International Astronautical Federation as a young space leader. a Mandela Washington Fellow, and a Carmen Pioneer. I mentioned Jim Bell. You're going to hear from Lon Levin, who is an executive at Lockheed Martin. He is the co-founder of XM Radio. And so these are the people who are going to bring you this amazing experience. So I'm going to spend now just a few minutes and walk through the program, and I trust that you're going to find quite a bit of excitement. One of the things that I want to point out, and I've already mentioned this once before, is space is very challenging. What you see there is an image of Shackleton Crater. This is a very famous object near the south pole of the moon. It is one of the potential landing sites for the Artemis program. NASA will send humans back to the moon, and they're investigating 13 landing sites near the south pole of the moon. One of those is on the edge of Shackleton Crater. And we see this image and we see, okay, it's a crater. It looks fairly smooth. But what we don't realize is the scale of this object. This object, the crater, is about 3.5 times deeper than the Grand Canyon. And so if you can imagine, if you've ever seen photos of the Grand Canyon, it's massive, it's huge. And this is an extraordinarily large crater. At the bottom of this crater are some of the lowest temperatures recorded in the solar system. The temperatures are so low at the bottom of this crater, and the main reason they're so low is because the sun never shines into the bottom of the crater. It's always hidden from the sun. The temperatures at the bottom of the crater are colder than the surface of Pluto. And so things behave very differently. So we're going to teach some of these amazing challenges that you're going to face as you progress in your careers. So here is the challenge. NASA has published what is called the Moon to Mars architecture. NASA has big goals. It's going to put humans on the moon. It's going to become a test bed, and we're going to develop solutions that are going to eventually allow us to go to Mars. And it's published this architecture document basically saying to the world, we have challenges. We want you to help us innovate. So you are going to be introduced to the Moon to Mars architecture, the challenges that NASA is publishing to the world, saying we want you to help us come up with solutions to the grand challenges that we face in our Moon to Mars strategy. And what's amazing about this is very current. This is today. This is published, and you can go to the web and you can see this roadmap and the architecture document and the call to action. So you will be learning on a topic that is very relevant to space scientists today. There is a QR code. You can also look up the web address. You can download the executive summary, which is what this link references. There's also an extensive document, several hundred pages. If you would like, you can download that document. There are white papers, there are other resources, and there's lots of information that you can refer to that NASA has published in this call to action. So in this Moon to Mars architecture, it says, essentially, we need help. We need ideas. We need you, your creativity. We need your thought. We need you to come together and tell us, what can we do in the area of communications? We need assistance with ideas for habitation. How are humans going to live on the moon and eventually on Mars? We need help with mobility systems like rovers. How are we going to haul things around the surface of the moon? How are we going to haul things around Mars? There are logistics, everything from the transportation of launch to landing to storage of materials. These are logistical challenges in space. We need assistance with power systems. How are we going to power the habitats? How are we going to power the rovers? How are we going to power the communication systems? We have, of course, transportation, the launch systems. We have other needs in terms of scientific instrumentation, data systems, I'm going to come back to mining in just a minute. We need infrastructure support. We have ground systems. We have teams, robotics. All of these things are relevant to life on the moon, and we need your ideas. We need your innovation. Mining is very interesting, and because the Earth, essentially, the moon, sorry, essentially is the same material as Earth. And so we have minerals on Earth. Many of these minerals are being used for electronics and batteries for electric vehicles. And some of these minerals are in short supply. Many rare earth minerals that you hear about are actually rare. And so we believe, many scientists believe, that these rare earth minerals exist on the moon. And it might be another source for lithium and other minerals that are very important to our automotive systems, electric cars, etc. So these are the systems, the sub-architectures that are required, that require innovation on the moon. But as you can see, these are the same systems that we use on Earth. We also need to innovate for Earth in the same way. Now, I've taken a little bit of liberty here and I've adjusted these descriptions a little bit, and this is the series of challenges that you will be introduced to. And you'll get to choose one of these, the one that resonates with you, the one that excites you, the one that you have creative ideas around. You get to choose. Maybe you want to look at human health. If you're on the moon, you will be 3 days away from an emergency. So if you have an emergency, you have to survive for 3 days. Or you need to predict if you're going to have a medical issue 3 days before it happens so that you can go to an emergency room on Earth in time and survive. How do you do that? We need to monitor human health in new ways. We need to provide telemedicine, robotic surgery perhaps. These are the same capabilities that can help rural areas on Earth, people who may be in remote areas, people who may be in harsh environments. So the same innovation that you can imagine providing for human health on the moon or on Mars will benefit your communities. Logistics and transportation, anything that you can do to make logistics more effective, more efficient, to reduce the time in transport will help your systems, your companies, your governments on Earth become more efficient. Robotics. There are many ways in which you can use autonomous systems on Earth. Think about drones, but also robotics for things like agriculture monitoring, perhaps manufacturing, even entertainment. The autonomous systems, I'm sure you've seen the videos of the drones that in the sky form various features. These are the technologies that we need. We need swarm technologies on the moon, and these technologies can help us here on Earth. You get the picture. We're providing you with these ideas, these framed challenges, and we'll go into more details in the program, that allow you to think about how you can help NASA and Ecuador and other countries in their endeavors in space, but also how you can help your communities. I've included the business and economic impact. We need entrepreneurs. We need people who can communicate the value of what we're doing. We need people who understand the finance. We need people who understand law and policy. There are very few laws on the moon and in space. We need people who can study law and think about the context of the law as applied to space systems and ecosystems. So let's talk a little bit about what you will experience as you go through the sessions. So we will provide an 8-week program. You're going to come online once a week for about 90 minutes. And in that 90 minutes, we're going to have a speaker. You saw some of the photos of some of the experts. We're going to bring you experts in the field who understand the moon, who understand Mars. And they're going to speak about their area of expertise. They're going to give you stories. They're going to inspire you. You're going to have a chance to talk to them. There'll be 30 minutes of question and answer where you get a chance to interact directly with these scientists and engineers and business people who are working every day and space systems. And we're going to talk about how to work in teams. We're going to describe the stub architectures in detail. We're going to talk about the landing sites for Artemis, the program to return humans to the moon. We're going to talk about the space environment. You heard me talk a little bit about how challenging it can be on the surface of the moon. We're going to go through existing infrastructure, what other people are doing, what systems exist today, what are plans for new systems that are going to be produced for the moon and for Mars. And then we get into some of these transferable skills, leadership skills. You're going to need to become leaders in your community. You're going to become leaders in your companies. And we're going to give you the tools to really become excellent leaders, to create places of trust for your teams so that everybody has a safe place to voice their thoughts and to become, so that they're heard and they feel valued in the team. This is the attributes of great leaders. We're going to teach you about risk management and how to predict risk so that it isn't major, so that you can overcome, so that you can minimize the risk, because this is a very difficult place. We're going to teach you how to present, how to communicate, and then we're going to have a demo day. And in that demo day, you're going to get a chance to come back and present to your faculty, to the officials of your institutions, to other stakeholders who are there in Ecuador that will value your thought and creativity. Along the way, you're going to assemble into teams, and your teams are going to go through a process that we're going to teach you to arrive at a design concept. And this is what you're going to present. And this process is what we call an innovation process model. This is a way in which we know, I have used this over and over again. If you follow this process, you will converge to a solution that's compelling. We begin with collaboration. You get together with your team and you throw out ideas. You feed off of each other's creativity. It's a very exciting time because you're writing down ideas. You hear other people's thoughts and you get new ideas. You share those ideas and they get new ideas, and it's a very exciting moment. But then you have to converge. We must decide. So we're going to have a curation process where we're going to teach you how to choose the best ideas. And then we're going to prioritize. We're not going to select the final one just yet. We're going to prioritize these, and we test the ideas. You're going to have access, again, to the faculty. You're going to have mentors there in Ecuador that you can reach out to, and you're going to be able to get information, get feedback, get data on your ideas, and then you'll choose the best one, and that's the one that you'll take forward. Ultimately, as I mentioned, you're going to present this in front of a panel of people, and these are going to be stakeholders in Ecuador that are going to listen to your ideas. They're going to appreciate the thought, the effort that you put into creating design concepts for these challenges. Now I'm going to return to the goals of the program, which are really the outcomes, right? You will then come away from this program with an understanding of the extraordinary challenges that NASA is facing, that Ecuador is facing as it attempts to engage in the space ecosystem, that all of the countries of the world are facing. These are the same challenges. These are today's challenges. They're relevant. They're important. They've been identified by NASA as being a priority. You will have a chance to develop design concepts for the priority challenges of NASA and other space agencies. You will practice collaboration, and you will engage with your team to develop your design concept. You will go through this innovation process that I've described, which is a powerful tool because you're going to face many challenges in your career, and you can use this process to come up with innovative and creative solutions for any challenge that you face. This is a powerful tool. You will become aware of the challenges the solutions, the design concepts that you're creating for the moon, how they can apply to Earth. And we're going to ask you in your demo day to describe how your design concept will benefit your community. So you'll be thinking all along about not just the challenge and the solution that the design concept that you're going to create for the moon, but how that can help your communities. And then ultimately, you're going to have a broader understanding, and you're going to have transferable skills. Understand how to think about risk, how to mitigate those risks, thinking about leadership and creating safe places for teams to interact. All of these things are going to make you very valuable in the workforce. Ultimately, and this is something that we know is going to happen because we see it over and over again, this program will provide you with the confidence to say, you belong here, you belong in space, you belong in STEM, you belong in business, you belong in the law and policy, you belong in communications, you belong in health systems. Whatever it is that you wish to do, you can bring that into the space ecosystem. And this is something that is very valuable. And ultimately, you belong here, you belong in this program, and we will help you, we will guide, we will provide experts, we'll provide the skills that it takes to create a very important design concept. So I just want to say thank you very much for your time. I'm open to answering any questions you may have. And again, I just appreciate the opportunity to work with these amazing institutions, the two universities that are represented. I want to thank the U.S. Embassy and the Consul General's office for all of their efforts. And we are here for you. So we're looking forward to this program. I look forward to meeting each one of you virtually, to having conversations, to having inspired thought, and looking forward to helping advance your career by bringing the resources that we have at ASU to you, to your institutions, and to Ecuador. And with that, thank you very much, and I'll turn it back over to the facilitator.
Thank you so much, David, for your amazing presentation. It's really interesting, this amazing challenge and the opportunity that our students have to participate in this program. Ahora, chicos, vamos a abrir un espacio para las preguntas en caso de que tengan preguntas acerca del programa o preguntas también directamente para David. Tienen un cajón de preguntas en el chat de esta reunión donde podrán escribir las inquietudes que puedan tener acerca del programa y preguntas directamente para David. Entonces vamos a abrir este espacio, por favor, para que puedan escribir, en donde dice preguntas y respuestas, puedan escribirnos ahí sus inquietudes. So we will start with the question and answer part. So the first question is, what are the requirements for the program? I don't know, David, if you want to answer.
Yes, so the only requirement that we have is that you must be a student at one of the two universities that are a part of the program, UDLA y Espol, and you can be from any background. You can come from the engineering and sciences, but also business. As I mentioned, law and policy. We have no requirement in terms of field of study or prerequisite. Just you must be a student.
Okay. Aquí tenemos otra pregunta. David, what are the date of the events, including the end, and taking into account the power cuts in Ecuador?
It is a very good question, and I'll ask for confirmation. I believe the start date is February 5th. So we have some time to register, and I will have to ask some of the other folks on the call from the universities to confirm the date and the time. We'll announce that. It'll be on the website with the registration, but we'll begin in early February.
At the end of the program, and we award a certificate?
Yes. You will have a certificate, and I encourage you to go to LinkedIn and look at the Milo Space Science Institute from other programs. It's something that people love to post on LinkedIn. They're very proud of the certificate. It's a powerful thing. It will help in your job search once you graduate. And so it's a very important thing to have the certificate. Yes.
Does the program have any cost?
The program is free. And I must thank our sponsor, the U.S. Embassy, for providing all of the costs for the program. This is an amazing opportunity, by the way. This is not free in other countries. And so I really encourage you to take advantage of this. Tell your friends. You need to check out the registration link because this is an extraordinary opportunity to participate for free for something that is not free in other countries.
I'm completing my thesis by the end of January, and the program begins in February. Will I still be eligible to join to the program?
My understanding is yes. If you are a recent graduate, you will still be able to join the program as long as you have completed from one of the two universities here.
Can industrial design majors participate in this program?
Yes, yes, yes. This is a really good question. If you think about what has to happen on the moon, we need industrial design. We need infrastructure that can be built. So we want to encourage those contributions to the program. Your thoughts will be very important. Your contributions will be very important.
Are we going to receive feedback during the program about the development of the solution? Are we going to be constant contact with experts about design and proposing a project?
Yes, you will have assistance all along the way, where if you have questions, you can reach out, you can send those digitally. You'll also have access to faculty in Ecuador who have volunteered to contribute a little bit of their time. You will also have milestones, so we'll have check-ins where we'll assess your design and make sure that you're making good progress. You will have lots of help, lots of assistance all along the way.
Will there a limit of students that can be registered in the program?
The limit is quite high, and so I don't anticipate that there will be any issues with numbers. If we get overwhelmed, I may have to change that, but right now we do not have a limit, only the limit of our platforms, what we can handle. We can handle a couple of hundred students easily. So please encourage your friends, encourage your colleagues that are there at the university, your friends, your fellow students, to consider registering.
As a student, can I receive any support if I want to be part of NASA in the future?
We will make you aware of internships and other opportunities as they come up. I cannot promise assistance, but we will definitely make you aware of opportunities to engage in things like the internship program. Will the challenge activities be in teams that will be formed in the weekly sessions, or do we have to have a team already formed? So you do not have to have a team that's formed. In fact, I would not encourage you to come as a team. What we are going to do is we are going to ask you to identify with the challenge that you would like to work on. You can't solve all the challenges. You're going to have to pick one. And in fact, we may ask you to pick your top 3, but we will put you in one of those 3 challenge teams, and you will be assembled with others who also have identified as being interested in those specific challenges. And that way you will be assigned in the team in week number 2. And so this will be something we'll help you with in the first portion of the program.
At the end of the program, is there some type of change to present our projects in USA?
It's a very good question. What we can do is we will have people at the demo day event from the United States. We will have people from various sectors, from the civil space, from space commerce, and they will be online listening to your presentation. We do not yet have the funds to send you to the US. Hopefully in another future program, we might be able to do so. But in this one, it will be all virtual, online, live, and you will indeed be able to present to people within the United States.
About what kind of challenge we must do? Can you give us an example?
So I will give you an example, and let's take the autonomous systems. Let's say you have an interest in robotic systems. We will give you the challenge of a lunar rover. You'll have to come up with a design concept for a rover that will support people on the moon. It'll have to drive autonomously by itself. It'll have to go to the moon before the astronauts arrive, and it will have to drive itself to the location where the astronauts arrive when they land. And so the astronauts will be able to use the rover and drive around. And then when the astronauts leave, it will be useful again for scientific information, for driving around the moon. But you'll also be challenged to describe how can that same system help your communities on Earth. So imagine that this rover also is on a plantation. Perhaps it can haul around the crops as they're being harvested autonomously, and how much would that save? How much efficiency would that create for the plantation? And so this is the kind of challenge that you will face, but you see that there are many of these, and you'll get to choose one, and then you'll work with your team to come up with the design concept.
What kind of topics will be discussed?
So we have 10 topics, and I can refer back to the slide, and perhaps in a little bit, try and pull these up quickly. The topics that you're going to discuss, I'm going to share on the screen. And so these are the 10 topics. You can choose to join the team that would discuss communications and navigation. So right now on Earth, you use GPS. You have Google Maps. That Google Maps connects to satellites, and it tells you where you are on a map. There is no GPS on the moon. So perhaps you choose to come up with a GPS solution for the moon. This would be fantastic for your friends who are building the rovers. They need GPS so they can know how to navigate and not go into Shackleton Crater. They need to go around the crater. So they would love to have a communication technology that is like GPS. The same for human habitation. You're going to go through temperature swings. So your habitat needs to have very good insulation, needs to have heating. It needs to be able to survive these extreme temperatures and create comfort for the people who are staying there. Human health, logistics and transportation. If you're going to have some mining operation on the moon, how are you going to haul the mining ore to the process facility? How are you going to build the process facility? How are you going to take the refined minerals to a launch site to return them back to Earth? These are the kinds of design solutions that you'll be working on. Autonomous systems, I mentioned. Power. How are you going to use power? What kind of power are you going to use? Are you going to use solar? If so, do you realize the angle of the sun is quite severe? And you may need to put your solar panels on a post or a mast to elevate them to collect more sunlight. You may choose to use nuclear power. That's got issues because nobody wants to launch nuclear power from Earth. It's quite dangerous. What happens if the rocket blows up and then all of a sudden you have radioactive debris all over the place? So your power system is quite complex. You're going to have to think about it. Data systems. How do you understand your instruments and store your data? The mining is called in situ resource utilization, manufacturing, business and law policy. So these are the kinds of topics that we'll provide to you.
The question is this going to be presential or online? And if it's presential, what is the schedule going to be?
It will be online, but it will be live, and it will be at a very specific time every week. So let's say, for example, it may be Wednesday at 6 p.m. for 90 minutes. Every Wednesday, every week for 8 weeks, every Wednesday, you will need to be on the Teams call or the Zoom call at 6 p.m. And that's when the sessions will start. We will have a live presenter. This is not recorded. And you will be able to send your questions as the presenter is talking, as you're doing now, and we'll collect those questions. And in the last 30 minutes, then the questions will be answered by the presenter, just like we're doing now. And you'll get a chance to engage directly with these experts from that are working on the moon and Mars systems. But live, virtual, so you can join from anywhere, every week, same time, same date.
Can we pair up from here as a team and then join us with other college, or all the information is random?
So it's a great question, and we are going to enforce diversity. In our experience, the most diverse teams always produce the most innovative solutions. So we're going to require you to work with other university students. And this is good. This is good for you, your experience. It's good for your, and when you go to a job and you go to your human resources, you're going to be introduced to people you've never met before. You're going to have to work with them. So this is just like you are coming into a job. You're going to meet people. You're going to introduce yourself. You're going to present what you're good at, what you can bring to the team, your skills, your passion, your experience. All of these are very relevant, and you'll get a chance to practice here in this safe place how to present to your teammates what you can do, learn from them. What can they do? How can they help you become stronger? And as a team, you're going to come together, and you'll find that the team that is diverse will produce the most creative solutions.
Will there be a selection of the best solution?
So this is not like a challenge competition. This is not a competition. We want all of the solutions to go somewhere. Perhaps you may find that there's an opportunity in the future to enter your solution into an accelerator program, or take this to a company and offer ideas to the company that may benefit from this. We're going to help you create something that is very professional, and we want every team to be able to take that concept into the next stage. You may just have a learning experience, and you're going to take this learning experience into your jobs, but some of you, I believe, will actually have an opportunity to take your concepts to the next level. Our job is to make all of the teams get as far as they can into this professional solution.
Igual me gustaría informarles, chicos, que en los próximos días, tanto UDLA como Espol van a hacer el lanzamiento oficial del programa y de la fase de registro de interesados en participar en el programa. Es importante que sepan que tienen que tener un nivel intermedio o superior de inglés para que puedan aprovechar estas 8 semanas de programa que vamos a tener con el Milo Space Science Institute de Arizona State University a partir del próximo 5 de febrero, que va a ser la fecha de inicio. Acerca de las preguntas que están haciendo, si pueden participar graduados o personas que estén terminando sus carreras en alguna de las dos universidades, sí lo pueden hacer. El programa es totalmente gratuito y, como decía David, la idea es que aprovechen esta grandiosa oportunidad. Trabajarán en grupos que se formarán de acuerdo a las soluciones que se van a ir planteando en el challenge, y adicional a eso van a tener la oportunidad de interactuar estudiantes de ambas universidades. O sea, va a haber equipos primero interuniversitarios entre las dos universidades, y también van a haber equipos multidisciplinarios, porque la idea es que podamos contar con una visión global de soluciones. Entonces, después del feriado vamos a hacer ese lanzamiento para que puedan ir registrándose. Cada universidad tiene un link diferente para que puedan registrarse, y internamente va a iniciarse un proceso de selección, porque tenemos un número de cupos por universidad. David, thank you so much for joining us in this space. Thank you for all the information and informing us about this amazing opportunity for the student of UDLA and Espol. We are really excited from both universities to prepare this program with Milo and the embassy. We are looking forward for that our student could enjoy it and learn so much about this amazing topic. So, muchas gracias a todos chicos por haber participado en este espacio en nombre de la Universidad de las Américas y la Escuela Politécnica del Litoral, conjuntamente con el Milo Space Science Institute de Arizona State University. Queremos darle las gracias a todos por haberse sumado a este webinar informativo sobre este Planetary Innovation Challenge que vamos a ejecutar en conjunto a partir del próximo 5 de febrero. Luego del feriado que tenemos aquí en Ecuador, vamos a tener la oportunidad de recibir vía correo electrónico y a través de redes sociales y los distintos canales de difusión que tienen ambas universidades, el link de registro para que puedan en cada una de sus universidades participar en el proceso de selección y puedan unirse a este desafío junto a nosotros. Así que espero que tengan todos un excelente feriado y que se animen a participar en esta gran oportunidad de aprender sobre todos estos tópicos interesantísimos que David nos ha presentado hoy sobre lo que es la vida y la coexistencia con nuestro espacio. Así que tengan todos gracias a el doctor Monsalve y a nuestro decano Ángel Jaramillo también por haberse unido a esta llamada y a todo el equipo de UDLA y Espol por lograr este evento posible y también extenderle un gran saludo a Robert Ion, el delegado de Milo Space Science aquí en Ecuador, específicamente a través del Leviathan Institute. Así que tengan todos un buen fin de semana largo aquí en Ecuador. Thank you, David, for your time. We keep in touch in the coming days and weeks.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.